If you look at Canada as a whole, there's no question, Canada would not be the same if not for Eric Newell.
I think corporate leaders should take a page out of Eric's book and get all of their management involved to work with the Aboriginal community.
I always kind of measure people's commitment by what they do after they retire, and Eric has continued on to support the Aboriginal cause across Canada.
My first impression with Eric was, holy smokes, this guy shakes things up. He goes and makes things happen, makes change happen quickly, and he's a hard worker and a hard driver.
One of the most impressive aspects to me of Eric Newell is his vision for the future.
A lot of what inspires us to do these things is what you feel in your heart. It's not all just business. It's wanting to see young people in the community all have equal opportunities. Like, it's not just giving out, you're going to receive back.
Dr. Eric Newell has had an illustrious career in academia and in the private sector. But it is his dedication and perseverance in providing increased opportunities for Aboriginal people in business, employment, and education in all sectors that has become his early legacy. He is an officer of the Order of Canada, a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence, and has had honorary doctorates conferred on him by 5 Canadian universities. The Energy Council of Canada named him 2003 Energy Person of the Year, and he was inducted into the Canadian Petroleum Hall of Fame in September 2010. The relationship he developed between Syncrude and the Aboriginal community is perhaps his most historical achievement. He became president and CEO of Syncrude in 1989, and unlike many other business leaders at the time, Newell saw the Aboriginal community as a valuable resource. Under his leadership, Syncrude became not only a major player in the oil industry, but the company also developed policies that reflected leading practices in corporate social responsibility and spearheaded several education and community development initiatives that resulted in the oil giant becoming one of the first PAR Gold certified companies. Newell created training programs and hired local workers, but also helped many Aboriginal people to create their own businesses through which they could bid for Syncrude contracts.
People at Syncrude helped me with the turnaround of Negan early on. So we've been involved together for a long time, and yeah, Eric is one of those guys that kind of goes in there and changes things around and make it better for everybody.
Jim Carter and I just pulled a number out of the air and said if we could ever do $30 million a year of business with Aboriginal companies we helped to create, nobody would ever question our motives, and it's certainly up there around $150 million a year. And the only reason we're doing that much business is because we're getting such good competitive supply and services. So this is a win-win, a real meaningful partnership that we built.
Newell has also realized the importance of improved education for Aboriginal youth. His leadership ensured investments in local schools, as well as visits to high schools to encourage youth to stay in school and view companies in the oil and gas sector as potential employers. After Newell's exit from the private sector, he remained dedicated to education. He remains chair of the Board for Careers, the Next Generation, an education access program he helped to create. At the University of Alberta, he has served on the Board of Governors as Chancellor, and now as Special Advisor to the Provost on Aboriginal Initiatives. Upon retiring as Chancellor, he and his wife Kathy donated $1 million to the school to build a new Aboriginal Cultural Centre.
Eric Newell saw a gap in sort of building a cohesive group on campus that was able to connect with each other and then use that relationship to push things forward.
The Aboriginal Gathering Place really is, first of all, it's a place of welcome, what I would call a home away from home. The second is a place of celebration, and we should be celebrating our first people. The third one, which is the one that's harder to understand, but to me is the biggest one, and I call it a place of hope. I can tell you right now, university or post-secondary education is not part of the dreams of most young Aboriginal people. And if we could create that, make it part of their dreams, then that may be the greatest benefit of all.
Eric Newell is a great humanitarian. I mean, I think he's one of those corporate leaders who has some very strong values which guide him. And his values really come from his belief in people.
I would say the thing that Eric could leave behind for others is the thought that you have to have a vision, think big, and then strive to accomplish that vision.
You know, that's maybe the most satisfying thing, is that these Aboriginal entrepreneurs and friends and partners, they've created businesses that are a model for all of Canada. And it's inspiring a lot of others. So it's not altruism. It makes good economic and social sense.